There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
Side stories.
That's when the cannibalism started.
Side stories.
Yes. Man, the dent on my couch is just getting so distinct.
Really?
It's something about how, and it's not like I have a memory foam couch.
No, thank God for the couch. It does not want to remember anything that's going on with you on top of it.
Fucking Vietnam vet, if it had to remember every single time I farted. But it's weird. It's a normal material couch, but the longer I am parked on it,
right,
the more it grows to my lower half.
Well, perhaps you're becoming part of the couch, very similar to Stephen King, how he became part of the fern. I think there was Creep Show.
Algae.
Yes.
Algae, I believe. Let's not get this incorrect because we're going to be fucking rung over the goddamn coals. This is Stephen King. I want to say
Tales from the Crypt.
It's Creep Show. No, it is not. It is Creep Show.
All right, I got it right the first time.
No, but I think it's the first Creep Show. We got to get this fucking correct. Because I am not, yes, of course it is. Because this was also the first time that friggin', I believe this is a Tom Savini film.
I love Savini.
This was a big deal. Let me also make sure of that.
Be sure of that, buddy. I ran into Tom Savini at a Mexican restaurant in Los Angeles. He was entering the bathroom. I was exiting the bathroom. He looked up at me as if I was Jason Voorhees, and he had to make a prosthetic mask for my face in order to really just feel comfortable even to be around me. And I looked down at him just before he went to take a piss or a dump, whatever he was doing. And I just said, "Big fan of your work, Mr. Savini." And then I went over to his table and I showed him the Fangoria cover that we were both on the cover of, because last podcast on the left was right by his name. And then and then he was like, "What do you want?" And then his friend was like, "He wants to take a picture with you." And then Tom was like, "Oh, okay." And then I took a picture with him, and I was just like, this is not the person he wants to be taking pictures with. But that's okay.
You don't have the right breasts.
No, I don't. I have them, but not the right ones.
Not the right ones and not the right height. But yes, I remember this because I've been I watched The Last Drive-In this weekend. What a fun thing to have.
Love it.
During this time period. Oh, we haven't introed the show. We haven't begun the show.
Not yet, but we can get to it.
I've been watching The Last Drive-In last 2 weekends. It's so much damn fun.
Welcome to Side Stories, everyone.
God damn it.
I am Ben with Henry. Yes, The Last Drive-In. My God. You know what? But the nice thing is, with what we are dealing with in today's pandemic era, we got to go back in time to the drive-in, pandemic-free. You sit in your own car. You get to make out with whoever, I don't know, whatever is happening, or you just eat a bunch of food by yourself and you fart up your own car, eat Taco Bell, whatever you want to do, and they won't yell at you like if you're in a movie theater eating Taco Bell like they did with me. You can eat whatever you want in your own car.
Well, it's because... I am one. I'm with you. I do believe you can bring anything you want to a movie theater in the end. I think if you successfully sneak it in, you win. Mm-hmm. I can't let one of these usher nerds come and take it from me. I've already won. Yep. But when I've seen you do this before, we used to see movies together a lot, quite a bit.
Sure.
And I remember you bringing full meals into the movie theater. But the one that's still... I'm still I don't know if it's impressed, but the one that still shocked me the most was the time that Ed Larson brought an entire Spanish-American, I want to say Colombian meal of pernil, roast pork, with Spanish rice in a big container. And he brought it into the theater and was like, "Oh, yeah, look, I got that good pork. They put stuff on the top of it." And I was like, "Eddie, your whispering is loud. You're just your whispering is projecting throughout this whole theater. And you are eating an entire abuelita-style made feast."
I have no problem. You bring any food you want to into the movie theater. Yes, it's going to stink it up. And I might even get annoyed with you. But I do draw the line at silverware. If you have to bring silverware in...
If you have to bring in
this is
a tablecloth and napkins and a wine glass into the theater, that food is off the table. That is for me.
That's it.
But that's what's nice about quarantine is now I can do it all with my fucking dick out. But you know what? I I miss the movie theater so much, but the last drive-in, I'm with you entirely. I think drive-in should come back. Joe Bob Briggs is killing it on the show. It's so cool to go back and see a bunch of classics through the lens of Joe Bob Briggs.
Yep.
His rants are so fucking funny. Tom Savini was on the last episodes. I want to say, because they did Maniac, and he talked about blowing up his own head, but how they put the Disco Boy character into Maniac so they could do the very famous head explosion shot, which I agree is the number 2 best head explosion in film history.
What's the number 1 then?
The number 1 is Scanners.
Of course.
For certain, because of Michael Ironside. He's got such a good explodable head. But I always like to make sure we go over all these with a fine-tooth comb, because Tom Savini is an interesting character. And he used to talk about what a ladies' man he was back in the day, and you could tell by the leather jacket he's got on now when I think he's in his 70s. He's doing good, though.
Absolutely. Maniac, the OG Maniac, not the one from 1963. It's the one from the 70s. I don't know the name of that actor. I don't think he ever acted in any other movie.
Yes,
quite honestly,
Kissel.
I don't know if he was an actor.
I am just about to blow your whole fucking world open. Joe Spinell played Maniac. Joe Spinell wrote and conceived the Maniac on his own. It was his baby. He was a character actor from New York. And what's funny is that I just forced Natalie to watch The Godfather, Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, and she was fine with it.
It's okay. You know, I'm not a huge mobster movie guy, but they're definitely good
they are not
quality
mobster
films.
movies. I'm going to say they are not mobster movies. They are fucking, it is man law. There's law of man deep inside of Godfather 2. This is the business we've chosen. It's a big deal. I got inspired from it. I just love it, and it's sad to watch Michael change in those films. But Joe Spinell is in both of those movies.
No kidding.
And I want to say Joe Spinell's also in Dog Day Afternoon. He was in a bunch of classics, and he was like a funny guy. He loved dressing in wild clothes. His favorite thing used to do when he used to travel for work, when he used to go travel for shoots, is that when he'd first come down to the hotel bar to like party for the first night in town, as we do, you know how you got to get used to a city.
Sure, of course. You have to get drunk in a city. That's the only way you know what the city's all about, what the vibes of the city are.
That's the only way you know. Joe Spinell used to bring a dress of his mother's with him at all times. And he was a big fucking, because you remember him from Maniac.
Yo,
big
he's
bulging
horrifying,
eyes,
bro.
And fucking, he's such a great, what a great
I'm
face.
going to say this. It's a good thing that he wrote and sort of created the movie Maniac, because I think he would have had a hard time being cast. Was that his first movie?
No, absolutely not. Godfather, he's in a bunch of movies. He is one of those guys, because those guys are all really close, especially like Francis Ford Coppola. They were friends. Like, they all kind of grew up in New York at the same time, and they were coming up at the same time. And he just has such an incredible face.
So what would he do with his mother's dress when he went down to the hotel bar? Would he wear it or just...
He would wear it just to freak everybody out, but he was like a ladies' man, like, because it was kind of peacocking, where he'd show up in a fucking crazy old lady's dress, but buy everybody drinks, and he died of alcoholism.
Well, you know what? He's a nice guy. He should have bought more people drinks, less drinks for him. That's what I always say. 10 for them, 1 for me, not the other way around. But that's how you got to do it.
Slowly but surely, it does begin to even out. It does begin to even out.
Absolutely. Well, if you have not seen the OG Maniac, check it out. It's very uncomfortable. A lot of mannequins are used, stapling. There's some scalping going on, and it is an unnerving film.
But you know what I find fun about those older, like, classics of quote-unquote sadistic horror media, like that type of thing, is that nowadays it's fairly tame.
Henry, other than the fact he is so ugly, you don't see ugly people on camera. I love Elijah Wood. We had a chance to interview him.
Loved his Maniac.
But
I love that movie too.
Maniac, though. But what's the difference between Elijah Wood and that fella?
He doesn't have the fucking sweaty face and the big bulging eyeballs, and he's just fucking great looking. He's just fucking great looking. I love Joe Spinell. But
yes.
I'm not talking about just old movies, too. Other good movies to check out during this time period. There was a movie that I watched called 1BR.
Okay.
One Bedroom, that's very good, very serious, very intense. And then we watched a really good, kind of vaguely teen horror movie last night called, I believe it's called The Wretched. That was also very good. Very well lit.
Oh, all right. You don't often hear compliments on the lighting, but I guess that's the case with this film.
And so was I.
I mean, it does sound like the one thing where you're trying to get approval from your parents and they went and they saw your senior film and then they have to come up with like one positive thing and they're like, the lighting was nice.
The costumes were fabulous. It was like in a time machine. The accents, but I love the boots that the main woman was wearing.
I do too.
Thanks, Mom. A little bit of an update. I want to say we got one of the most wonderful things that happens when we do, just in this, the nature of podcasts and the nature of our show, is that when a story that we talk about on the show, like, and the people that are centers of those stories listen to the show and can respond. And this was we got a response from the episode we did, I think it was 2 times ago, the Piss Shrine episode.
Yes.
When Ezekiel Myas broke into the home of a young couple in Hawaii, we had the Reddit user Honeybee Royale, who originally posted this story to our True Crime on Reddit.
Okay.
She posted a response video to our episode to clear up some things that were not in the original news article and some things that we weren't quite, we just didn't know. So she wanted to fill us in. And it's not a lot, but I think it's important.
So let's just do a small recap. So the Piss Shrine that we're talking about, there was a home invasion. A person stayed in these folks' homes for, 5 days, something like that?
Like a week, yeah.
And let's just say made himself very comfortable.
I'm going to go out and say a little too comfortable.
A little too comfortable. I think that's safe to say.
They came in the house. This guy was there, living in there. They chased him out. He turns out he had been living inside their home, and he had left a series of very detailed documents on their computer. This is the main thing that came out. Basically saying he had been observing this couple for a long time, and he wanted to surgically alter them to become some form of superior being that he was, right?
Really?
I mean, it's a lot. And so one thing that she reveals, number one, he'd done a lot of research into the surgical part of it. They found a lot of him watching, which I didn't know, that there are straight up YouTube videos showing you how to do anal reconstructive surgery, which I'm going to use now for my Will You Shut Off the Stream segments.
Are they hosted by Dr. Dieter Laser from Human Centipede? Why?
Also, R.I.P. R.I.P. Dieter Laser. He's dead.
When did he die?
He died.
During
this time period. And Don Shula.
What the hell? It's a bad day for pigskins everywhere. This is horrible.
Just can't stay young forever.
No, you can't. Don Shula was 90, and I believe Dieter Laser was hovering around that number as well. R.I.P. Good doctor. Yes, your methods were inappropriate, but what if he did find the cure for cancer? What if it was just ass to mouth, and that's how you cure leukemia? Then who's laughing? Then who's the asshole? Then who's the maniac? It's us. It's society.
This is where your German means to an end philosophy starts coming to the surface. But so she said, number one, he had done a lot of research into this, right? He had done a lot of research while she was there, while he was there. He definitely wasn't there alone.
Good.
She talked about the domestic disturbance thing that was called on the house while they were out of the house, while the couple that lived there was out of the house. Their neighbors, who I guess didn't recognize that it wasn't them, heard that people screaming inside the apartment and called police, who showed up, and they just went away because they just were told that we'll be quiet. The man
who were the people screaming in there? If it was
Ezekiel Myas and whoever the person he was with. No one knows.
So he had a little buddy in there with him doing.
We talked about this there. We think that this might be some form of group. We don't really know.
A piss group.
Now it's some kind of, we'll get to the piss.
Okay.
So then he was spotted around the neighborhood with no shirt, no shoes.
No service.
During elementary school hours, running around being like, he was doing a funny little joke being like, "That's my kid." No, it's not. No, it's not. No shirt, no shoes. And I guess the police were like, "Hey, you're getting a little Hawaiian here. We're gonna need you to move along." He was looking in people's homes and shit. But the big thing, like the big change, the big correction they wanted to set, it's like, again, about the Piss Shrine.
Okay.
Now, originally, when they spoke with reporters, they said that they found several things with urine coating it. And maybe urine on it. Maybe some puddles of urine.
A bad day at the daycare. They ran out of diapers. Pisses everywhere.
Yeah, Puddles of Urine, the new elderly care Christian rock group.
Okay.
They went, but they said these things because they said they felt that it was inappropriate to truly go into actual detail what happened in their home. They said that they did find a little shrine.
Okay.
That was a necklace that she had purchased, Honeybee Royale had purchased, I believe at a Buddhist temple.
Okay, a Buddhist temple. The
guy went and built a little shrine basing of this thing that they found in their house, right? Also turned out that it wasn't her husband is not a famous musician.
Okay.
He's not a famous musician like we thought the last time. We thought that he might have been well known, but that's how he kind of singled him out. And she said, no, he's a touring musician. He is a professional musician, but he's not like famous for it. But for some reason, Ezekiel, while inside the home, threw out all his memorabilia of his years of being in a band.
Well, and
Just
I would
threw
like
them
to
out.
say this. If you are making money through the arts, you're a professional artist, and that is all we can ask for. That is an amazing thing.
But I get when you want to be one, and then you get triggered by breaking into the home of a professional musician and seeing all their flyers, and I can see how that would trigger you as a crazy person. But again, there was that one area of pee-pee, and she said, unfortunately, that's not really what was happening inside the home. Unfortunately, it seemed like many of their items, to the point where they had to get rid of most of their wardrobe and furniture inside of the home, was coated in several, I'm going to use the word dollops of semen. And that this man, Ezekiel Myers, came over many surfaces, items in their home, things that they wore. He obviously was wearing her husband's clothes while he was and coming inside them while he was wearing them, I gather.
Well, you know it's never good when the story that makes it seem better is piss related. When they're like, well, we really can't tell the truth. We'll have to say everything is covered in piss. It's never good when that's like let's smooth it over. We don't really want to tell the truth and how disgusting everything is. So this man jerked off probably, what do you think, 30 times? If you have an amount of semen that is actually, that you can see, we're not talking MTV Room Raiders. I don't think they had black lights going in there with television cameras.
They saw streaks of cum and everything, like Spider-Man had a panic attack.
So that would require ounces upon ounces, which would require multiple sessions of masturbation.
7 days a week. I don't know whether or not, does mental illness drive up your ability to be horny?
See, if you're on medication, I know it drives it down most of the time.
Ezekiel was decidedly not
on medication. So maybe he did just channel his inner monkey at the zoo and just pull it. Coming.
And he went out there and he really let it fly to the point where they had to get rid of most of their home. But she said that what she thought was interesting is that when she found the videos that he was taking himself, because we sort of described them as akin to the would-be assassin of Bjork.
Horrifying
he made
video.
a horrifying series of videos. But she said that his videos actually were super calm. Like, it was like him going like, what's up, y'all? Ezekiel here. Now here's me telling me how we could... Now, hey, what's up, y'all? Ezekiel here. Like and subscribe. But just so y'all know, today we're going to be going through how to surgically make you not Down syndrome anymore. So he was like super chill about it.
But he was still chasing the likes, huh?
You got to.
I guess.
Got to, man.
I mean, honestly, our manager and our agent would be very happy with him. They would be like, wow, he's going out there, he's branding himself. He understands what it takes to be successful in this Kardashian era.
But I will say, Honeybee Royale, you said that you have extended videos of, you have all the videos that he put up. He was super comfortable in there, but I would love to look at them myself.
Yes.
If you don't feel like putting them up for public consumption, please send them to me at sidestorieslpotl@gmail.com.
Also, I have a feeling a house might be going on the market for a great deal because I don't know if they can live there anymore. I feel like I would have to leave, not because of fear that it's going to happen again. I think this is a one-timer.
No, they got calls. They were already receiving calls from an unknown woman saying basically you want to see the kids, all this kind of bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I think that they have moved already. I believe that they have already left their home, and they probably should.
So this is a gang stalking situation. Is that what they're speculating?
It's I mean, I don't know if it seems to me some kind of art project.
Yeah, something's gone horribly, horribly awry. This is why
I will tell
even
you what,
if the
though.
kid sucks at art, just tell him it's good. Otherwise, they become Hitler or become someone who breaks and enters and comes all over someone else's clothes.
It's the only two options.
That's it.
And what I will say, though, is that he does leave behind some incredible cuts of meat, like, and some bacon and some chicken and a good mix of it. This new invasive, like, butcher box, like, we come to see what you like technique. I honestly think it's really forward looking for a company. And yeah, I mean, break into my home, tell me what meat I need, but please just come outside because the plants could use it.
You know, I don't know what it does to a plant. I would assume it doesn't hurt it, though.
I don't know.
Just imagine the mass shooter that Yoko Ono would have been if we turned down her version of art. So be nice to these people who are struggling artists, because they are one bad review away from being a home invader that ejaculates on everything that you own. And then you have to throw away your entire wardrobe, which sounds fun if you have enough money to buy a whole new one. But you know what?
Yep.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. And I will say that it's not just struggling artists, it's just artists in general. We're all just on the verge.
Speaking of artists, and I think it's safe to say that Carole Baskins is an artist, don't you think?
I mean, I think that she is definitely a artist of words. In terms of she is a storyteller about what happened to her first husband.
Don Lewis is her first husband, and an attorney for Don Lewis is now coming out and speculating on what the hell happened 20 years ago. The dude's name is Joseph Fritz. Which is it's a harsh name. He says, quote, "I do have reason to believe he is dead," which
yes.
Yes.
We all do.
You don't need a law degree to have the reason to believe that he is dead. But this is what he goes on to say again regarding this is Don Lewis, who is the former husband of Carole Baskins, made famous, of course, from the Joe Exotic Tiger King docuseries. He says, "Too many indications of foul play, too many motives, too many opportunities. He wouldn't leave his family, his fortune, and his kids behind. There was enough motive and enough opportunity for something bad to have happened, and it probably did." So what the hell happened to Don Lewis? Well, according to his lawyer, Don Lewis, he was strangled with an electrical cord and thrown out of a plane over the Atlantic Ocean.
He was thrown out of a plane. Because he was a pilot.
No, I'm sorry, over the Gulf, not the Atlantic Ocean.
Sure.
So this is what Fritz alleges. He says, "We heard he got strangled with an electric cord in the back seat and was thrown out over the Gulf. In my working theory, one person was flying the plane and one person was strangling." So this guy does make a few assumptions that are about as obvious as you could ever imagine, because I would assume the person flying the plane also didn't strangle him because he's not a villain from a James Bond film.
Yes.
But nonetheless, this is sort of a new development or new speculation, according to the lawyer of Don Lewis. He says he was a likable guy and he didn't want to hurt anyone, but evidently someone wanted to hurt him.
It's definitely a thing he just made up. It's definitely just an idea he had of what happened to him.
Henry, did you not, a lawyer, are you not trusting the unbelievable prestige of someone who worked their way through the United States judicial educational process to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth?
I know a lot of lawyers, and I also know a lot of them that love cocaine. You got to pass the bar. It's very, very difficult.
Well, that's absolutely true.
But honestly, if you're out there passing the bar right now, God bless. Good luck, you fucking. And please defend me. Please defend me for free when I need it.
Oh, and just lastly, with this case with Fritz, he says he doesn't know who the murderer is. So he's not saying that Carole did it, but he is saying that qui bono, look who benefits, but he does not know, but he does believe the killer will be caught one day, and he says, "Watch over your shoulder all the time. Revenge is best served cold. Somebody is coming for them."
Well, I don't understand it. I don't really understand it. It's technically, there's no evidence, but I still, you know what, I believe it.
I do love the revenge is best served cold line, because it reminds me when I gave the Fleshbot Award to China, WWE superstar. It's a large silver dildo. She got this award. WWE was the mainstream that she did, and then the porn was backdoor to China too, because I guess somebody went back. And she made a video for Vince McMahon that she posted on her YouTube page holding the silver dildo that I gave her. And I love China. But then she said, Vince, they say revenge is a dish best served cold. And then she held up the silver dildo. But I don't know if Vince really cared. But anyway, that was just that was her saying that. And then this is him saying that. So revenge, I don't even know why it's gazpacho. I don't know why it's served cold, but evidently that's the temperature of revenge.
Is it just because the dildo was cold?
I have no idea why revenge is served cold. It could also be served super hot. I don't know.
Also don't think you should put a cold-ass, unwarmed-up dildo up inside yourself. Isn't that uncomfortable? Unless you have, like, a snowman fetish? I don't know. There's all stripes. There's all kinds.
My palms are facing the sky, buddy, because I don't know.
Don't know. All right, so here's another update from Lori Vallow. This story just keeps fucking going.
What is going on with this damn thing, man?
I don't know. Lori Vallow has just been possibly named as a suspect in the suspicious death of her sister, who also suspiciously died. This is another person. So I'm not even going to try to catch you up on the Lori Vallow story. Look up Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, and just follow along after. Just pause and then come back if you don't know what we're talking about.
Yes.
But I want to tell you this little story. This comes from People.com by Jeff Truesdell. About a year before her two still missing children disappeared, Idaho mom Lori Vallow apparently asked her future husband to gauge the children's purported dark and light spirits. Okay. Now, we know the last time we talked about this, she believed that they had become some form of soulless zombies, and that eventually these according to their own highly specific religious beliefs, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow believe that people are overcome with some form of deadness, some form of zombie-like activity that makes you no longer a human being. You become one of the other side, either the devil's property, something like that, where you are now bad. And you can tell that you're bad is if you gave them 1 star on their podcast or at one point said that their podcast was a waste of time because there's over 500,000 podcasts still in the market.
It is. So because they think that human beings can become evil zombies, I guess they have no hesitation when it comes to murdering these folks because they're not people at all anymore.
Honestly, though, if they were correct, they would be correct. You know what I mean?
At the very beginning,
they're not correct.
If they were Ash from Evil Dead, then yes, they would be heroes. The jury's still out.
Yes, we'll find out, won't we? In the end, won't we all find out what the big book done say?
I think so.
So, Chad Daybell, the author who captivated Lori with his writing on religious doomsday scenarios, responded with an October 30th, 2018 email, writing to her, "Here are the family history documents you requested." Now, this is before they were together. This is when they were still courting each other. She said, "Can you tell me if my children are light or dark?" Right?
Okay.
The email was reportedly obtained by Fox 10 Phoenix, which first revealed its contents. Daughter Tylee Ryan was listed on a chart as 4.1D. Tylee's father, Joseph, who previously had died, was listed as 4.3D and is quote-unquote now sealed away, according to the chart.
What does any of that mean?
It means nothing. Son Joshua, J.J. Vallow, was listed as 4.2L. Now, according to this is farther down. 2s and 3s are fluid and can change sides during Earth life, Chad wrote in the document. 4.1 and above have made covenants to their side. They rarely switch sides. 7 months later, Lori's then estranged husband, Charles Vallow, scored as 3L, would be dead, shot in an alleged confrontation by Lori's brother, who was a 2L, who claimed self-defense.
Okay.
So they didn't make the cut.
So they're gone, even though we got the 2L and the 3L, so theoretically they could stick with the Vallow side. They could go with the Chad Daybell side.
No, you didn't hear.
They're not fully crossed over yet.
No, you didn't hear. No, they are 4. They are over 4. They are well long past any sort of help, Kissel, and they must be, quote-unquote, sealed away.
I'm getting confused by this Dewey Decimal version of cult killing.
I love how specific it is, because you know I love when cults get specific.
Right.
But it's so specific that it led to them killing these children. I'm certain that these kids at this point, if they were already labeled as, I'm going to go ahead and call them SPs, because I might as well.
No, the kids are not SPs. It's
Guy,
Lori
if
and
you
Daybell.
are thinking about, no, I'm talking about from the interior logic of the cult. They are SPs, so they gotta go, Kissel. They have to go.
I feel like you know what? I'm just going to say they're wrong. But it's not just the children and the ex-husband that Lori Vallow has now been accused of killing or suspected of killing. Evidently, the worst curse on the face of the planet is being born within her family, because apparently she may have also now killed her sister, Stacy Lynn Cox. She was 31 years old. In 1998, she died of undetermined causes, and no one knows what the hell happened. Ashley,
This is going to be the best movie of all time.
What director could even put all this together? I'm so confused by this freaking story. If a director can pack this into an hour and a half, I will be very impressed.
This is going to be a movie I'm going to put this out to David Fincher.
Okay.
I'm going to put this out there to David Fincher. This story just keeps going. And they are being held for $1 million bail.
Yes,
they're still being held. Chad Daybell is not, though. Chad Daybell's free to go. So we have no fucking clue what the hell is going to happen to these people. And It seems to be, it's just not enough to put them quite fully to jail, because you don't have bodies. When we see if you can get rid of the actual victim, then there's no murder, because there's no body.
I would assume they have the sister's body here, so maybe they're going to exhume the body and go through that whole process. This is according to journalist, I use that term loosely, but Ashley Banfield. She's a TV reporter for Court TV. This is what she had to say. She says, "You can look at one death as a coincidence, but these people have had a trail of deaths that seemed natural and are now under investigation. This may be yet another one." And that is the case. It's like, okay, I feel like you get one. If you're going to get away with a murder and you can make it look natural, you get one. But once there starts to be a trail of corpses, as if you're Little Red Riding Hood on your way to grandmother's house, better leave some corpses so I know how to find my way back, it becomes a little bit more suspicious.
If you call dead children breadcrumbs, I don't want to be your friend. But I also, I believe it depends on who you kill, Kissel. If it's your kids, we can't do. Is it an annoying neighbor? You get one.
This is going to be tricky to kill the annoying neighbor, because I would assume everyone knows he's the annoying neighbor.
There's a man across the street from my apartment building that plays the drums from 2 to 6 p.m. every day. I don't know what this person does, unless they're fucking Neil Peart's son or daughter. I don't want to hear drums all the time, so I feel like that should be my freebie.
I don't know, but aside from just her sister's death, apparently Lori's sister, which was in 1998, her brother Alex Cox, this is her sister's brother, Alex Cox, died in late 2019. His cause of death is still pending. But before he died, he said he was responsible but not charged for killing Lori's fourth husband, Charles Vallow, in 2019. Cox said he shot him in self-defense. All I know is, I don't know what's going on with this family, but maybe they shouldn't breed anymore. I think they're done.
It's the true crime family that keeps on giving, and I can't wait to see where it ends up. I just hope that it gets to the White House.
You know,
I feel like if we could get them into the White House and cause some real mayhem, that would be interesting.
Good Lord. It was 2 months after Cox shot Charlie, which was the ex-husband. That's when the 17-year-old daughter, Tylee, and the 7-year-old son, Joshua, went missing. It's just a lot. There's just so much. There's just so much murder.
This show's fucking wild. This I call it a show. This story is wild.
Yes, if all the world is a stage, but unfortunately, unlike a real staged play, these people will not be coming back for a second act.
I mean, you don't know if they can.
We do know. What do you think?
Casey Anthony was acquitted. O.J. Simpson was acquitted.
I'm
These
talking
people
about
get
the
acquitted.
corpses, Henry, not the people. I don't care what happened. I hope that they rot in prison. It seems like they may have killed up to 6 people.
Transition them. Seal them to the next life, where then they can be helped. That's the only way you can help them, Kissel.
Yes, indeed. And you're right, they did have a podcast, so go support and subscribe to that. If it's still up.
No,
I don't even know if it's still up.
Only if it's on Spotify.
Only on Spotify.
This next article, we'll cut through. Let's just run through a couple of these.
Okay.
Again, coronavirus is going wild. People
Yes,
getting
it
fucking
is.
wiggity. We're not seeing a slowdown of weird ass stories coming from people's haunted brains inside of the quarantine.
No.
This comes from the Independent, UK. Coronavirus. Police hunt for person taking daily walk dressed as terrifying plague doctor. I love this shit. I want more. I miss more of this. I miss this shit. Because remember in 2016 with all the wandering clowns?
Yes,
I always
of
forget. I always
course.
loved it. Suburban resident says she saw strolling around in a full black suit despite warm, sunny weather. This comes from Zoe Tidman. Police are trying to find a person who dresses as a 17th century plague doctor on their walks during a coronavirus outbreak. Residents in Norwich suburb have spotted someone strolling around in a long black coat, hat, and pointed beak-like mask over the past few weeks.
Creepy.
They posted on a community Facebook page claiming the outfit could scare children. Yeah, it is.
Okay, but hold on a second, Henry. What, are you going to arrest him for fashion? Is this literally the fashion police? Because he can dress however he wants.
I think it's good for kids to get scared a little bit if it's not by their like father from just being their father.
Absolutely.
I think that if you could dress up as a plague doctor and scare a kid, it actually would probably lead that kid to being like an author or cartoonist or some other shattered person.
Absolutely. You do have to sort of break open the egg a little bit to make the omelet. And in this case, the omelet could be a career in the arts. I don't understand the controversy. I really actually don't. The guy is just, we have a similar case here in Florida as well, a dude dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fucking
happy
dope.
that people are coming out, dressing up. Comic-Con is canceled, so you got to do it somewhere. And so just have a little fun with life.
But yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to call the police on this guy? What are they going to do? The police are now, their comment is, officers have been made aware of an individual who's been seen walking around the Helsin area wearing a plague outfit. Although no offenses have been committed at this time, officers are keen to trace the individual in order to provide words of advice about the implications of his actions on the local community. You mean inspiring them?
Isn't he doing exactly what they were asking all of us to do?
I think that people should leave their houses in more wonderful, crazy, insane, perhaps frightening costumes, as long as you got a mask.
You know what? It's very uncomfortable. I understand we do these things, whatever. If I could get a really cool, if I could get a Tom Savini style mask, something I could wear full face. I mean, that would be the best of both worlds.
Silver Scream Studios, the production company that does all of the art design for Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, is selling these sort of like outer novelty use mask things that you can put on top of your cloth masks that are very interesting. They're fun looking and they're good and creepy.
Yeah, absolutely. Go support Silver Scream Studios. And as I said, Daniel Hooffielder, he's a Florida lawyer. He is the one haunting the beaches in Florida. He's wearing a black robe. He's got the whole Grim Reaper outfit on. And to be fair, in the sun, this actually keeps you cool. Isn't that interesting?
That's what we learn from desert peoples.
That's right.
That's what we learn. But I'll stick to my short shorts and my no shirt.
So people, he's out there, he's having fun, and he's scaring some folks at the beach. And I think, whatever, it makes for some cool pictures. And
make
there you
it
go.
more aggressive. Get a bunch of your buddies to do the same thing, and let them see if they can arrest you if you guys all run in different directions.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see where this goes. This is a less fun story. This comes from the New York Times. Dozens of decomposing bodies found in trucks at Brooklyn Funeral Home. The funeral home director said that he used the trucks for storage after he ran out of space in his chapel. "Quote unquote, bodies are coming out of our ears," he said, which they shouldn't be. This was written by Alan Fuhr, Ashley Southall, and Michael Gold. I guess they were all contributing. And to me, this is really about him improperly storing goods, right?
Well, it's human bodies, but yes, I suppose so.
The call came in shortly after 11 a.m. on Wednesday. A terrible stench was coming from a pair of trucks parked outside a funeral home on Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. It's a rougher part of Brooklyn. When the police arrived, they made a gruesome discovery. Inside the trucks, a U-Haul rental, which seemed to be a tractor trailer, there were several dozen decomposing bodies. The New York State Department of Health, which regulates funeral homes, was also called to the scene in the Bureau's Flatland section to determine whether the funeral home was handling the remains appropriately. And it issued 2 summons. So don't worry, they got a ticket.
Yes, they did. But of course, the funeral home was also, they were shut down. Obviously, the bodies, it had a bit of a stench. It's getting a bit warmer now in New York. And if you've ever been in New York in the summer, we've got 2 seasons. One's called trash and the other one's called too cold to smell it.
Yep.
It must have been so pungent, so strong,
so bad.
It is just
And
a
never
U-Haul
mind-
truck.
You got your fucking Nanu in there, right?
Oh.
She's turning in the sludge. You got your Pop. He's in there turning into a sack of putrid bones. And they're just, because what it came down to is funeral homes, they don't do this shit for free.
No,
right?
of course
I
not.
don't know exactly how it works. I'd love some information on that. But I believe funeral homes are either paid by the city in order to take things from the morgue. And these guys were like, yeah, keep bringing them. Yeah, we got plenty of room. Yeah. Meanwhile, they just figured, like my mom does. Like my mom has 3 freezers, right?
Right, sure.
We got the standard. That's called being fucking Queens rich. Which
Yes.
is you got a fucking meat freezer and then you got a refrigerator just for soda. Right?
You
That's a big
need
deal.
one because of all the soda that you're buying.
You got all that soda in there, and then you got all the fucking cakes that my mom has frozen from every single holiday from the time I was fucking 25 years old.
Maybe
They're
a few-
all just frozen in there.
A few cartons of cigarettes because, of course, you keep them cold, keeps them fresh longer. Sure.
My father was getting them illegally from Romania for a period of time. Yes, they were stored in there, and they were just filled with fiberglass. And I remember smoking them, and I was like, this tastes like I'm smoking, like, it's like, in a bad way, I'm smoking dollar bills. You know what I mean?
Right,
Where it's like
yeah.
tech paper that I'm smoking. But they thought that they could maximize their storage space by just renting a U-Haul truck and then
yes.
throwing all of these corpses in there, which used to be people that humans loved. And now
Yes.
they're sitting in a rented truck.
It's 30. It was a total of 36 bodies. And just to give some, I don't know, let's just give a little scenery here. It was right next to a check cashing place. So you imagine you got your stimulus check. You're going, you're tip tapping your toes down. You're going to get a $6 from the store. Things are turning up in your life. What the hell?
What is that?
Is that my grandma? Is that my grandma decomposing in
Wait a second.
in a U-Haul
I know that
truck?
smell.
This is
I know that smell. Is that my grandma's? Is that her eau de chocolat? I know that perfume mixed with rotting flesh. Oh, that's delicious.
This is according to funeral director Patrick Kearns, who says he has barely slept since the day he took charge of them. So he's like literally like the movie Maniac. He is being haunted by the corpses in his
He should be.
U-Haul truck.
He should be. He should feel the pressure of the
says-
36 corpses waiting to be processed.
This is what he said. He says, as he lies awake, as he lies awake in the middle of the night, he knows there will be more. This is what he says. He says, it weighs on you, having so many cases in your care. The death rate is just so high. There's no way we can bury or cremate them fast enough. So he's just lying in bed, wide awake, staring at the ceiling, just thinking of all the rotting corpses in the U-Haul truck and more rotting corpses to come the next day. He just got in way over his head. He overexpanded too fast, as they might talk about on Shark Tank.
I'm with you. I feel like he thought that they could. I'm going to use the term corpse bandwidth. He thought that he had enough corpse bandwidth to get all of these things processed through the pipeline,
man.
and it just didn't work out.
No.
But at what point do you just say, "Hey, we have enough bodies. We're out. Like we're out of room." Why are you doing this? I don't know whether or not it's out of necessity or if it's about trying to get more money.
Well, I mean, he was trying to get more money. This is according to the New York Times article. I just find this to be a funny sentence. Funeral directors like Mr. Carnes have found themselves in the middle of, quote, a log jam. Which is one way to put it. It's
Do
a
you know
bit
who
of
called
a log
fucking
jam.
corpses logs? The Japanese during World War II. If you remember that Unit 731
Oh my
or shit.
God, yeah. Now, Mr. Kearns is a fourth-generation funeral director. He thought of himself as, quote, a first responder to the neighborhood's families. The family has served him since the 1900s, and unfortunately, I do not believe that this will go on any longer. So Mr. Kearns performed some of 30 to 40 funerals, but in April alone, he expected that number to be about 200, and that, he said, was on top of the 150 more he was asked to do but couldn't because he lacked the energy and the equipment. His supply of caskets at times has run short. So this guy...
You tell me the only thing between him and 36 rotting corpses in a U-Haul truck was like a Red Bull or a Monster? Like he just didn't have the backup energy to get to these corpses?
It's a hell of an ad for a 5-hour energy drink. Apparently, yeah, he was just feeling a little bit tired, and he says, quote, my stress levels just keep on going up. It's just, if you are in the funeral business, technically, and I don't want to be too crass here, but this is actually a boom.
Oh, you're saying that this is the gold rush. This welcome to the this is the non-new rush. You
got to be ready. You got to get the inventory. You got to get the warehouse space. They should have known something was coming. But
I don't know. But all I know is I feel the pressure. I understand the pressure. It feels like there's a low-level buzz of anxiety during this time period. So I understand feeling like, I just can't even with all of these corpses. I understand that feeling. But the difference between me is that when I need to like sit and like my anxieties, it's doing stuff like it's keeping me from writing the screenplay I'd like to write.
Know.
It's keeping me from read the books I'd like to read. It's not keeping me from processing the pyramid of corpses I have in my rented U-Haul, because also in my mind,
it's rented.
I'm thinking about the U-Haul in a way. Like, in a way, yeah, 36 corpses are in there, but what's U-Haul? I guess they're going to charge me. But then again, I'm going to be moving. Kissel's looking to move.
I'm looking to
move. Can you
move.
imagine? You're looking to move.
Why is this U-Haul so cheap?
U-Hauls? Because think about U-Hauls. I'm going to get even deeper into this. U-Hauls in Long Island City. Have you ever gotten a U-Haul in down by Utica? Have you ever gone down there to get one?
I have.
They are run by a guy named like Tarzan, who's got half a face, who's just like, he's smoking out of the other half of like an old school pipe, just being like, and now a lot of people rent from me. I got low stars. I got real low stars on purpose. I hate seeing people. And then you go down there and it's just like one U-Haul truck next to like a fucking gas pump that doesn't work anymore. And you're looking around being like, I guess this is my U-Haul. Am I stealing this fucking U-Haul right now?
Yeah.
It's that U-Haul. You're going down to get that one, because there's probably only even one down there.
Yeah, probably.
So you're going to get this corpse juice filled U-Haul truck to fill all of, because you know how precious your two lazy boys are, Kissel? You don't want them to be all filled with corpse juice.
They already basically are filled with corpse sweat at this point because I've been inside for so freaking long.
Yeah, it's like your sweat dies.
But Henry, so just going back to Mr. Kearns for a second, because this story just gets crazier. So he says he's lost 20 pounds. It's a hell of a way to lose some weight, I guess.
Hey, man, it's stress.
And he said, quote, on a recent evening working in his trailer, he tripped and smashed his head against a shelf. After blacking out, he woke on the floor among the corpses. His wife and business partner forced him to go home.
Oh my God, what is this? The fucking...
Is
this a Chris Farley movie called The Fat Mortician?
I don't know. And then he said, I'm looking forward to the end. That's all I can say. This man is going to kill himself. No. Oh my God. So anyway, anyway. All right. Well,
wow.
Just if you, it's a tough subject because, you know, we don't expect to have an abundance of corpses in this way, but I feel like this is your job. You know, you got to.
Would you call it a happy accident?
I don't think he has. I'm pretty sure that this is, that this is going to end the career for him.
But what comes down to it is, the previous mortician, he wanted extra freezers. And they all called him a serial killer.
Right,
But now you see that he was prescient and he was excited and prepared, because that's what success really comes down to. It's luck opportunity meets preparedness.
Absolutely.
Because you could have flipped this into making this a mortician chain. If you had enough fucking freezer space, because you know what you do. My whole thing, you could do, I do a lot. I'm in the corpse business, Right. But other times, I'm in the pork business, and I'll hold pork on those freezers when there's no corpses in there. I don't know if that's probably got something to do. The health department.
Yeah, you want to wash that out pretty. You want to do a little bleach run on there.
Yeah, you're gonna want to give it a Swiffer.
All right. Well, I think, just real quick here, just a cute little headline. Louisiana cops search for aggressive chicken breaking social distancing, terrorizing bank patrons at an ATM. So there's a chicken on the loose in Louisiana. Kind of a fun little story. That's about it.
Honestly, and that's all we need to get. It gives me the hope to move on. You know what else gives me the hope to move on? The story from the New York Post about a woman from Kazakhstan who was trying to take a cute selfie for Facebook celebrating the opening and releasing of the quarantine lockdown in Turkey. She just plummeted off a fucking cliff trying to take a cute picture, and it's just funny.
My. Well,
Instagram deaths are really funny to me.
That is too much freedom there. You want to stay on the cliff. You don't want to go flying off of it. That's
you're going to want to grip onto that cliff. And next week, we're running out of time here. We should go into the hero of the week.
Yeah,
next week, I'm going to cover Nick Redfern. Has got a lot of hot takes in the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident, and I want to get into that in a little bit more detail before I start speaking upon it because, am I triggered?
You don't want to get any details wrong on that. My God, it will end our entire career. All right, let's do Hero of the Week. This Hero of the Week, out of the mouths of babes. This kid is 5 years old, right? This guy is my Hero of the Week. He's a 5-year-old boy. He had $3 in his pocket. And this 5-year-old boy had a dream. And that is really the overarching theme of this week's Hero of the Week. Dreams. Dream big.
Dreams.
Know what you want and go try to achieve it.
And you're not too young to dream.
No, you're not too young to dream, but you might be too young to drive. So this boy said, Mommy, I want a Lamborghini. Now his mother being, yes, a good mother, but also a buzzkill.
A kill. Just give him a Lamborghini. Holy shit.
Was like, no, we can't afford a Lamborghini. Also, you're 5. You don't need a Lamborghini.
5. You can't drive. 2, Lamborghini's $250,000. 3, no. 4,
that didn't stop the
just
kid.
Leave me alone. Yeah, please just let me be a mom. I gotta live my life.
That didn't stop the kid from stealing the family SUV. He went on the highway and he was going anywhere from 15 to 30 miles an hour. So good conservative driving, although dangerous because you actually want to go a bit faster than that. He was pulled over by a state trooper. His name was Rick Morgan. The state trooper said, "How old are you? You're 5 years old? Wow. Where did you learn how to drive a car?" He just said that he learned how to do it. He said he was sitting on the front edge of the seat so that he could reach the brake pedal to keep the car stopped while standing there.
He must be a long-ass 5-year-old.
He must be a long 5-year-old. The child told the trooper he intended to drive to California to purchase a Lamborghini himself, which is where you get a Lamborghini. You go to the land of Los Angeles and you find a Lamborghini.
There is a fuck ton of them out here. So, if you don't want to come, I am going to say you're not going to get a deal on them.
No, and you're certainly not going to get one for $3, which is all the kid had, which is quite sad. Morgan said no one was hurt and will be up to the local prosecutor to decide whether to file charges against the parents who had left the boy in the siblings' care while they were away from home. Now, I don't know if anyone needs to be charged. I think that 5-year-olds do crazy 5-year-old stuff here. It doesn't seem like malicious parents.
Well, it's also one of those sad things, right, where any other day, this was a normal day, where the kid was just being watched by his brother, or by his sibling, sure. like you do. And then now the kid just went ham, took the car, but and now they might be in trouble for it. Again, not fully a hero, but what I do like about the hero status of this little boy is that it's just about I think he's going to be a race car driver.
He could be.
He's going to be an inventor because he went out there and he saw the solution to his problem,
right?
And he just went and got it. He
went in the car, drive to California, get the Lamborghini. I don't even know what Fast and the Furious films this kid was watching to want a Lamborghini at 5 years old. I wanted the Batman playset, but
you don't need to be a member of the family to want a Lamborghini. Lambos are hot.
Yeah.
Right, they're fun.
So, hero of the week, the 5-year-old boy didn't hurt anybody, and hopefully his siblings are not grounded for the rest of their lives, because those are really the kids who are really sweating it. Because once you realize you lost your 5-year-old brother and the SUV is gone, and then you're just looking at your siblings being like, shit. We shouldn't have been.
I guess I fucked up.
Yeah.
I guess we're all going to foster homes. You know what I mean? Like, you have that feeling like, I didn't want to, but I guess I did this by my actions. All right, so let me do a couple of quick little stories here. I'm just going to do these 2 little stories.
Okay.
Hey, I used to work for the biggest state prison unit here in Texas. We had 3 wings. General population, high security, and the Pameo unit, which was the criminally insane unit.
Oh.
I worked in the Pameo unit for about 6 months upon first starting my job as a rookie. I saw some shit that will stay with me forever. Men who made sculptures out of their own shit. Men who stuck pencils in their urethras and broke them off, and men who would cut themselves almost to the point of death just to get out of their cell for a bit to go to medical. Get it?
Yeah.
The story I wanted to tell is about a man who was in his mid-50s and diagnosed with almost every mental illness in the book. I don't know why he was incarcerated, because we didn't get access to that info as officers. This man was absolutely sure that he was just waiting to be rescued by George W. Bush, who would burst into the prison in a spaceship and take him off to the promised land. We all got hopes.
Yeah, sure.
On and on. He would go on about his plans once he left with Bush on a spaceship. I bet they would just paint and eat barbecue.
Yeah.
It would be great, right?
Everyone would laugh at their funny jokes and forget that he's a war criminal like they do now.
They would hang out with Ellen.
Yep.
Just the cuddliest ex-president in the world, that war criminal.
That's right.
Well, one day my fellow CO and I came upon him literally ramming into his cell wall head first like a ram. We stopped him, but it was too late. Ooh. He had already busted his skull wide open and was bleeding profusely, but he was still coherent. The only thing he said was, "Bush told me he needed help getting inside, so I had to break the wall down." Needless to say, this gentleman died from his injuries.
He's not Hammerhead from the He-Man series. What's he doing?
It is bad. He wasn't thinking clearly, Kissel.
I guess not.
This man stayed with me for the most of through the years. I quit at the prison about a year after the incident. Working in a prison will change people. Yeah. I know it did me too. Anyway, I just want to tell you all my little prison story to give you a little insight as to what the kind of literal hell goes on, especially in the criminally insane prison units. Thank you.
Damn, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's fucking Friday.
Well, it ain't right the way we treat people either.
This story fucking sent a chill up my spine.
Uh-oh.
In 2003, we had just bought our house. Our apartment was only a few miles away, and our lease had a few more months on it, so we were just taking our time slowly painting and prepping the house for us to move in. One day, I was at the house cleaning. My wife is going to the apartment to haul over a load of items after work. The phone rang. It was my brother-in-law saying he was bringing by a housewarming gift, and at that time, my wife pops into the doorway and motions like, "Who's on the phone?" I tell her it's my brother-in-law, and to my brother-in-law, I say, "I actually have to go help Carolyn unload the car." I hang up and walk out outside. No Carolyn. Just as I was about to walk back inside, confused, she turns onto her street. Her car turns onto the street. A few months later, I am home alone cleaning out the last of the boxes from our move. Carolyn is at work. The door to the room I'm in is blocked by boxes when I hear the back door open and Carolyn's voice talking to our elderly cat, Tiger Man. He was a very vocal cat, and he would talk to us when we first came home. Hearing this, I clear out the boxes, open the door, and walk out saying, "What are you doing home?" No one is there except Tiger Man, who looks confused. The door is locked. I am home alone. I panic, thinking of stories about people dying and their spirits visiting their loved ones. I call her at work. She is fine, but really wanting to be home. This phenomenon is nothing new in her life. I later find out from her best friend that when they were living together, she would experience similar things and said that it was Carolyn's Verderger. My wife was adopted as an infant, so until we took DNA tests a few years ago, we knew nothing of her ancestry. She was mostly of Scandinavian and British descent. A Verderger is a creature from Scandinavian folklore, similar to a doppelganger. A Verderger prepares the way for its subject. End of email.
Oh.
I did a little bit of research into Verdergers. There's a really interesting article written by L. David Lester called The Verderger, perhaps another indicator of the non-locality of consciousness, who talks about this concept of sort of like it's not deja vu. It's something else. It's something consistent with an out-of-body experience, or what they call here an ADC, which is called an after-death communication, where oftentimes people see somebody show up after they've died recently. Mm-hmm. And they are saying that maybe it's got something to do with the way our consciousness works. This article's a really cool breakdown. He did a lot of research into this phenomena because there's not a lot of research put into it, but it just kind of fucking creeped me out.
Very cool. What's the title of the article so folks can find it?
It's called The Verderger, which is spelled V-A-R-D. I believe it's some kind of Scandinavian O with a line through it. G-R.
Cool.
It's very interesting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for those emails. SideStoriesLPOTL@gmail.com. Keep them coming. We like them scary. And yeah, that's very interesting. Maybe the cat. I mean, I guess if you're the cat and you don't want to be left home alone, it's nice to have a doppelganger owner, because then you can always have someone to hang out with, and then you can always be around your cat.
Unless they're trying to replace you.
That could be the case as well.
And destroy your family. One by one. I think that's the movie Us. The movie Us. It is, but it could be real.
Could be. You never
I don't know.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this week's Side Stories.
Check out Last Podcast Live. Buy our live special because we can't come to you right now. So come and see what it's like. See what our cavalcade of jokes.
Yes.
And see what that experience is like. Can you handle it? I think you can.
Yeah, I think they will be able to.
It's very easily for you. I think it's very easy for you to handle.
And thanks so much for the great response to the book. Again, you can go to IndieBound and get those books. Thank you so much. 3 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Marcus's little bone fingers are tingling with every purchase of that book. So thank you so much.
And so is his bone penis.
Absolutely.
Now also check out lastpodcastmerch.com. Check out our merch site. We got 6.66% going to fucking charity. We got all new stuff. We've been hearing your suggestions for more merch. We're starting to put them in action. Yep. Hearing about grinders. Hearing about, I mean, who knows? Might be doing some flash shirt sales. Not ones that we show you titties, but you could if you want.
Hoagies and grinders. Navy beans.
And so now, guys, you got to live. Live every day in this fucking quarantine life. Live through your TV and imagine what you'd be like if you were Indiana Jones. You don't need to leave. Well, use your imagination as a vacation.
Okay. That's what people tell you in solitary confinement. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Yes, so it might not work. Then you want to love whoever you can physically get close to because you got a bond. Some people started dating right before this quarantine thing, and then you ended up moving in with that person like immediately. Ooh. And while that may seem hasty, and it might seem like a massive fucking mistake, and probably is, right now, until this fucking gets through it, just pretend.
Just pretend.
This is your time, and you know you pretend, you laugh. And everything they say, just to kind of get through this, especially if you're not paying rent or utilities.
Right.
Because, again, just fucking scam life. I hear about scam life all the time. You got to do it.
All right, everyone. Hope you're hanging in there. We cannot wait to see you at some point, in the grand scheme of time, in the not so distant future. So,
yeah, man. You know what? When it comes down to it, all this is just going to roll over, and one day the sun will expand and consume our entire solar system. Yeah. So by then, nothing will matter.
No, absolutely not. That's kind of reassuring in a strange, strange way.
I want to see it.
Well, I don't think you're going to see it. It's not going to happen for quite. Maybe your great. I can't even imagine what they're going to look like at that point.
But that's unless I become a trans. I'm going to use the term. It's transhumanist, and I join with the robots.
I know that's your number one goal. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to want you, but I like it.
I'll be so fun. I'll be such a fun little R2-D2 with a big hard cock on the front of it.
Mm-hmm. R2-Poo-2. Okay. Ugh. I'm done. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for listening. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Magustalations, everyone.
Hail me.
All right. And don't buy your kid the Lamborghini. That's
buy
the
your kid the
Lamborghini.
Learned. That's the real lesson.
Buy the 5-year-old a Lamborghini.
Lease it.
Lease it. Why not?
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to,
Go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.